Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet this pretty strawberry shortcake dishcloth. This is a really simple pattern to do, and it's essentially a granny hexagon, and then we've added this nice little edging to frame it out. And it measures from its widest points across about 7 inches. So let's get started. For this project, you'll need a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, a 5mm H crochet hook, and some cotton dishcloth yarn. I'm going to be using hot pink and white. This is the Sugar and Cream. It's made by Spinrite. But the photo at the beginning of this video, I used hot pink and a color called Ecru, which is more of an off-white. So you could do either one, or you could do rainbow colors, any colors you have on hand. This is a great project to use up your scrap cotton yarn. We're going to begin our dishcloth with the pink yarn, and we're going to work rounds 1 and 2 with that color. So to begin, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. Wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop. Bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your hook, bring up that loop, and tighten. Next, we're going to chain 4. We're going to be creating a ring that we'll be working our stitches into the center of. So to make a chain, wrap yarn around the hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So make 4 chains. And then the chain farthest from our hook, we're going to join with a slip stitch to create the ring. So insert your hook into that chain farthest from the hook and bring up a loop. Now bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. Then you can kind of open up the ring so you can see it a little bit better. And then we have this tail we're going to hold along the edge as we work. So let's begin round 1. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as one of our double crochets. So then in the center of the ring, we're going to work a double crochet, then chain 1, 11 times. Okay? So to make a double crochet, wrap yarn around hook, insert it into the center of the ring, and bring up a loop. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. Then we're going to chain 1. So that chain 4 was the double crochet plus a chain 1. I meant to mention that earlier. Okay, so we did our first double crochet chain 1, but we need to do that 11 times. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're working a double crochet, chain 1. 4, 5. If we need to push this over, that's okay to give yourself a little bit more room. And 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we did our 11 double crochet chain 1. Okay? Next, we're going to join to close with a slip stitch. So count 1, 2, 3 chains up, insert your hook into that chain, and join with a slip stitch to close. So now we're ready to move on to round 2. Now if you want to switch colors at this point, you can cut the yarn and fasten off and tie a new color. We're going to stick with the pink for this round also. So what we need to do is slip stitch over to the first chain 1 space. So this is our first space. I'm just going to insert the hook, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on our hook, and now we're ready to begin round 2. So what we're going to do for round 2 is chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to work a double crochet into the same space. So in that same space, just work a double crochet. Then we're going to chain 1, and then in the next chain 1 space, we're going to work 2 double crochet. So 1 and 2. We're going to do this all the way around. So chain 1, work 2 double crochet, next space, chain 1, 2 double crochet in the next space, 1 and 2, chain 1, 2 double crochet in the next space, 1, 2, and chain 1, 2 double crochet in the next space, chain 1. We're just doing this all the way around in each one of these chain 1 spaces from the previous round. And like I mentioned before, you don't have to do this in the pink and white like I'm doing. We're keeping with the strawberry shortcake theme, but you can do any color you like. And lots of times when you do projects like this, you get a lot of different color odds and ends. So this is a great way to use some of those. You could do one color per round or something like that. Okay, so 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, next space, 2 double crochet, chain 1. Now we're back where we started, so count 3 chains up like we did before, join with the slip stitch to close the round. So round 2 is complete and our little dishcloth is starting to really grow. So what we want to do now is switch colors. We're making this like the one at the beginning of the video. So again, if you want to stick with the same color, just slip stitch over to the next chain 1 space that you come to. So I just cut the yarn and fastened off. So then what we're going to do is begin round 3. We're going to work round 3 in the white. So what we're going to do is locate one of the chain 1 spaces. It doesn't matter which, you can do any one you want. Now I like to back up a little bit just so I'm not weaving 2 ends at once. It keeps it from looking lumpy, but that's just a personal preference. You can do whatever you like. So go ahead and insert your hook into one of those chain 1 spaces and bring the new yarn through and go ahead and just tie it right on. And we're going to be weaving in ends as we go along, and that will save you a lot of time and work at the end. Okay, so you can hold your ends along the edge like we've been doing. So to begin round 3, we're going to bring up a loop like that, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in that same space, we're going to work 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Let me fix my tail, it's getting twisted. Holding that as we work. So work 2 double crochet, then chain 1. Then we're going to hop over to the next space and work 3 double crochet, chain 1. 1, 2, and 3, and chain 1. So we're going to do this all the way around. So we're working in just the chain 1 spaces. So now, because we've increased, before there was just 1 double crochet, now we have 2 that we're skipping over, if you will. So skip over those 2 double crochets and then go to the next chain 1 space. And I'm holding my ends in as we work like we've been doing. So work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Hop over to the next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, then chain 1. You can see it's building up. The sides are building up. So once you felt like you've woven these in sufficiently, you can just drop them and keep working. Sometimes it gets a little cumbersome to manage working stitches and holding ends and doing all this. So once you felt like you've gotten them in enough stitches, you can just drop them and keep working. Okay, so we're just working 3 double crochet, chain 1 all the way around. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. I'm going to keep going around, and then when we get towards the end of this round, we'll rejoin and I'll show you how to finish off this round and then transition on to round 4. Okay, I'm just working that last double crochet in that last chain 1 space. Then we're going to chain 1 and then join with a slip stitch. Count 1, 2, 3 chains up. Join with a slip stitch to close the round. Okay, so it looks like this so far. It looks very cute, but it's still a circle, and our dishcloth is hexagon shaped. So we're going to move on to round 4, and round 4 is kind of that magical round where we turn a circle into a hexagon. So you can go ahead and fasten off. And then what you can do too, I like to do this at the end of each round, is to just give those little ends a tug and trim them. It's just nice to have them out of the way while you work. Okay, so what we're going to do is grab our pink yarn once again. You can slide this other stuff out of the way. And you're going to just locate one of these chain 1 spaces and just do the same thing. Just tie the new yarn right on. Right into that chain 1 space. Okay, so like I mentioned before, this is going to be our hexagon for this round. So what we're going to do is insert the hook into that same space and bring up a loop. Then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then in the same space here, we're going to work 2 double crochet. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, then chain 1, and instead of hopping to the next space, we're going to stay in this space because we're going to work one of these corner points of our hexagon. So in the same space, work 3 more double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. So what we're going to have is our first corner point of our hexagon. So the hexagon, this is a corner. So we're going to refer to these as corners from now on, and then the next one will be sides. Those will be the straight sides. So we're going to do a corner, side, all the way around, okay? So we just did a corner, so we're ready to do a side. So go ahead and chain 1, and then in this next space here, work 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. So you can see we have our corner and our side. Then chain 1. Now we're ready to do a corner again. So our corners are 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. In the same space, chain 1, and then in the same space, work 3 double crochet. So that's how we create our corner. 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. Okay, we can straighten it out a little, and you can see we've established our other corner. Okay, so chain 1, then hop over to the next space. I'm going to drop my tail that I've been holding from the previous round because I feel like it's in there enough. Okay, so we're going to hop over to the next space, and that's going to be a side again. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Now we're ready to do a corner. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, and in the same space, because we're working a corner, do 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. So it's really starting to look like a hexagon at this point. Okay, so then we're ready to do a side. So work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, work the corner, 3 double crochet, so that's 1, 2, 3, chain 1 in the same space, work 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Straighten it out if you need to. Sometimes those, as you're working them, those corners can get a little bunchy. Okay, then we're going to hop over to the next space and we're ready to do a side. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1, work another corner. 1, 2, 3, chain 1 in the same space, 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're in the home stretch. We're coming up to the end. So chain 1 and we're ready to work a side. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, work the next corner. 1, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 1 in the same space, 3 more. 1, 2, and let's see, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there we go. Whoops, I just pulled it out. Let me just redo that last one. I was taking a peek and then I ended up pulling it out. Okay, so that corner is finished. So chain 1 and then we're on our very last side. So 3 double crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to join 1, 2, 3 chains up, join with a slip stitch to close the round. Then you can kind of straighten it all out. So round 4 is complete. So we have one more round of the white. We're going to keep with the hexagon sequence, and then we're going to add just a really simple edging. Okay, so what you want to do is locate one of the corners and just tie on the new yarn. So we have our white yarn here. Now this round is very, very similar to the previous round, but we're going to be adding an extra side, and I'm going to show you what I mean in just a moment. So locate one of the corners, and I just tied the new yarn right into that corner. So if we look at our hexagon now, we're going to be working into the spaces again like we did before. So we're going to be working into the corner, side, side, corner, side, side, corner. So before we did corner, side, corner, side. So now we have an extra side because our hexagon is growing. So we're going to do corner, side, side, corner. And if you get stuck, just look at what you have. Look at what you're working into. Are you working into the side or are you working into one of these points? Okay? So let's start by bringing up a loop and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This counts as one of our double crochets. So we're going to begin this round by working 2 double crochets because that other one counts, so it creates that 3 double crochet little grouping. So work 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then in the same space work 3 double crochet. That'll get our first corner going. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, So it'll look like that. Okay, so next, like I mentioned before, we're gonna have 2 sides this time. So we have a side here, and that'll be 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Next side, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now we're at a corner again. So we're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, and 3. So let's stop for a moment and look at what we've done. We have a corner, side, side, corner this time. Okay? So just continue that same sequence all the way around. Corner, side, side, corner. Corner, side, side, corner. Okay? Let's do just this next one together. So I did a chain 1, then we're going to do 3 double crochet. So I'm going to keep going with my corner, side, side, corner, side, side, all the way around, and then we're going to rejoin towards the end of this round and move on to our edging. So our dishcloth is almost finished. Okay, so I'm just working that last double crochet, that last space, and then a chain 1, and then we're ready to join to close this round. So just count 3 chains up and join with a slip stitch to finish. Okay, then we can take our scissors and cut the yarn and fasten off. So your dishcloth at this point, it's large enough to use, but I want to put a single crochet edging around in the pink just to kind of frame it in. So you could use it at this point and stop. If you want an oversized, very large dishcloth, just keep working more rounds. Each round you add will add an extra side. So for this round in white that we did corner, side, side, corner. The next round would be corner, side, 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 corner, 3 sides. So each round you do will add an extra side. So what we're going to do now is do our edging, and I'm going to work it in this hot pink color. So just locate one of the corner spaces, and we're just going to work a single crochet in each space all the way around. So go ahead and just tie it right on there. Then you can reach in with your hook, bring up a loop, chain 1, and then work a single crochet in that corner. Now doing the chain 1 and then a single crochet will actually, that chain 1 counted as one of our single crochets, so that's actually 2. So each corner will work 2 single crochets. So in each space in between, go ahead and work each one of these double crochets. Work a single crochet stitch. If you've never made a single crochet stitch, all you have to do is insert your hook into the space, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through both loops, just like that. So you can see what our edging is looking like. Okay, so I'm just going to work a single crochet all the way around, but I wanted to do this first corner together just to show you what I mean when I was mentioning that earlier. Okay, and I'm also weaving the tail in as I go, and I'm about to come up to another tail that I can weave that in as well. So we're just working a single crochet in between and also in these spaces as well. Okay, so now we're at the corner, and because we need this to round the corner, if we just put one in, it might gather it in a little bit. We're going to put 2 single crochets in that corner space. So 1 and 2. Okay, so just keep working single crochets all the way around. I'm going to keep working mine, and then we'll rejoin in just a moment, and I'll show you how to finish off the dishcloth. Okay, so I'm just working that last single crochet And then I'm just going to join with a slip stitch to close in that first single crochet we made. Okay, so our dishcloth is finished. We can now cut the yarn and fasten off. Now again, if you want your dishcloth to be bigger, just keep working more rounds of the hexagon pattern. So as you can see, our pink edge kind of frames it. And now we're ready to, if we flip it over, you might have some ends like I do that we wove in as we went along. So now you can just snip them off. You don't have to weave those in. But you will have that tail that we just fastened off, you will have that tail to weave in. So if you wove them in as you went along, you should only have one little tiny tail at the end. Okay, so I have all my little ends snipped. And now we can weave this last end in. So go ahead and thread your tapestry needle and flip it over to the back. And then just weave it into the pink area only so it won't show on that white part. Just go in one direction. Come back in the other direction. Just stay in the pink area so it won't show. Then just take your scissors and you can snip and then just kind of straighten everything out. So our strawberry shortcake dishcloth is complete. It looks very pretty. This makes a great gift for a hostess. You can even use it as a little trivet or set a candle on it. It's very decorative. And that's it. That's how you crochet the strawberry shortcake dishcloth. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again.